Welcome to the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast with global sales trainer and professional speaker Lois Coffey. Each week, it is her goal to share inspiration and education for you to have the best health and wealth and wisdom for your life.
Lois Coffey here with another episode of Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. This is an impromptu monologue podcast episode, and I put it out there today because I've been hearing and seeing a lot of people who, if you've been following and know about the Lionsgate portal, that's a big event that is in alignment today with the sun and Sirius, and I won't go into all of that. That's not what this podcast is about, but there's just a lot going on. I don't know if you're feeling it. However, it's really intense for most of us. I know I've had an intense week. I'd say pretty much all of my clients had an intense week this past week. And I know that there is this awakening. Ever since the pandemic, people have shifted. People have gone more inward, really asking what it is that they want to create. And if you've been following my story, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise is transformed because I have transformed. So the messages are more about heart mindset, about heart-centered service and business, less about money, less about tactics, because here's the honest truth. The best tactic you have is you. Your best asset you have is not your bank account. It's you. There's a saying, you can't take it with you, right? However, I've seen so many people stress about money, stress about lack, scarcity, not enoughness. Or the flip side of that, people will be thinking, I don't deserve it, so I'm just going to make X amount, and they put a lid on their income, but they're not really satisfied. And then there's also people who go to the extreme. They work really, really hard, compromise their health along the way. And then, if you lose your health, right, it doesn't matter how much money you have. So today I wanted to talk about a topic called looking in the mirror. There's a saying, as within, so without. We attract into our life whatever is going on inside of us, which can be a scary thing, can be very sobering to admit. And yet, how can we navigate this to ensure better health, better wealth, whatever that means for you, and happier results? Or as you've heard me say, magnetizing, like a magnet, drawing into you. I actually like that better than attract, because a lot of people think of the law of attraction, The Secret, and there's so much in The Secret and law of attraction that is flawed in my experience, that I'm really, really speaking out about this so that you have a different perspective. So today, I want to talk about the 3 key tips to help you open your mind and your heart to the truth. So the first tip right out of the gate is to look at your current results. Look at them. Look at your health. Look at your wealth. Look at relationships. You can have a list of financial, spiritual, mental. Are you wanting to learn something new? You can run the gamut. But I would say at the very, very least, let's look at your health, where you're at today, and then look at your wealth. And I'm going to put two parts in that wealth is money and relationships. Because to me, relationships is more important. Business is all about relationships. And do a checkup from the heart up, not just the neck up. If you've heard that phrase before, do a checkup from the neck up. Are you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being exactly where you want to be with your health, exactly where you want to be with your wealth, your finances and relationships, and your business, personal life? Where do you stand, with a 10 being you are beyond humbled, grateful, satisfied? You are exactly where you want to be. So that's tip number 1, is rank yourself in those categories. Now, the next tip, step number 2, is probably the one that most people don't want to talk about, that most people push away. They just think, you know what, I'm just going to say affirmations every day. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to hope. I'm just going to ignore the elephant in the room or the skeleton in the closet, whatever phrase resonates with you. It's what are you seeing in the mirror? Meaning an honest look at what may be holding you back. Now, I've had this before where I've been doing this work now for over 6 months, really for about a year, where I would look in the mirror and I was not happy with what I saw. And what I decided to do was, with the support of the Magnetic Mind certification, with the support of great spiritual mentors, and quite honestly, spiritual shamanic type healers and mentors, I looked at the shadow, the self-sabotage, the wounds of the subconscious mind that were getting in my way. And I encourage you to look in the mirror and see how that's showing up in your life. So for example, for me, and actually a lot of my clients, this is why I'm bringing this up, because I see it happen a lot, because like attracts like, right? They're not satisfied with how many clients they have or the type of clients they have or the income they have because they haven't done the work internally. As within, so without. And that's where I was 12 months ago. And I started recognizing my limiting beliefs. I didn't have self-love or self-compassion. I was always in the doing, which was a form of ignoring my not enough, never feeling enough. So I'd always do more. Maybe you don't feel worthy of having the income that you want. Maybe you don't feel worthy. I know I didn't, of having close, intimate relationships and vulnerability with your partner, your spouse, your significant other, your friends, your girlfriends, your guy friends. So I got to look at that in the mirror and really assess what was going on for me. And at the end of the day, what I discovered was I couldn't feel joy, happiness, and bliss over here because I wasn't allowing the negative emotions to show up. I was doing too much, always finding numbing behaviors to really ignore looking in the mirror. So again, if you're just joining us, welcome. And if you want to, you can comment below with questions. My goal is to give these 3 tips. And so first tip 1, I'm going to rewind. Tip 1 is to take an assessment and score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 with your health, your wealth, your relationships in each category. Where do you stand, with 10 being you are already there. You have all that you want, all of the best relationships, all of the money, and the best health. Because that's my goal here in this community on this podcast, is to help you self-discover your best health, your best wealth, your best wisdom. Tip number 2 that I was just finishing up is take stock, look in the mirror, and honestly ask yourself, ask your heart, why am I not at a 10? And what is stopping you? What is getting in the way? And actually feeling into those emotions instead of pushing them away, numbing them out with buying another course, doing more things, seeking outside validation for the answers, because all of your answers lie within. And that's actually a great transition to our final tip, which is tuning in to your intuition, AKA your superconscious. Creating spaciousness enough every day, even if it's just 2 minutes, where you're tapping in and developing a relationship with your higher self, AKA superconscious, AKA intuition, that I believe and teach that resides in your heart mind. Your heart is 40,000 neurons. It is wise beyond its years. And it ultimately is the last thing still pumping when you die, when you pass on from this life. You can be brain dead. This is where the egoic mind and the subconscious are connected, right? And oftentimes all of our results come from those 2 minds because we forget to trust our intuition, be in alignment with our head and our heart, and really slow down enough to tune in, which develops, spaciousness, meditation, whatever you want to call it. So I invite you to really tune into this. It's a very short episode. But if you really want your best health, you really want your best wealth, you really want the best wisdom and relationships and all of the things, it's an inner quest. And I hope these 3 tips today served you well. You may want to listen to it again and again and take action. Take action. That's my advice to you. Actually go and apply this wisdom. And if you're struggling, if you are absolutely concerned or needing help beyond this, because it's not something that you can do alone, and it absolutely doesn't need to be with me. Ultimately, you want to be able to find a right mentor, right support, someone that you can be in alignment with. And of course, if you would like a complimentary one-time session, a 30-minute session to self-discover how to work smart, how to be in alignment with your head and your heart, I am taking applications now for my September group. In September, I'm going to take people on a 66-day journey to do just what we talked about today, to build a sacred practice, daily routines, daily rituals to help you get back to your Midas touch. I call it the Midas touch. If you guys ever heard that phrase, everything you touch turns to gold. That's when literally all you got to do is wake up and things come to you instead of you pushing, forcing, doing, being busy, because I don't believe personally that that's what we were designed for. We're here to design a life, not just make a living, because again, you can't take it with you. When they read the eulogy at your funeral, what do you want to be remembered by? I'm trusting its impact. I'm trusting it's living the healthiest, happiest version of yourself as many of the years that you possibly can. There's a saying that most people die at age 25 and are buried at age 75. Would you want to say that about you? I know I don't. I had that wake-up call in 2020 and 2021, and I am so much happier, so much healthier. And my clients in my last 66-day program are just wrapping up right now and have had amazing breakthroughs, continuing to have amazing breakthroughs because they're in alignment and making true choices, slowing down, embracing these 3 steps that I talked about today. So please go ahead and check out magneticmind-midastouch.now.site. I'll drop that link in the show notes, and there's a link on that page for you to book a complimentary session with me to self-discover what's holding you back, helping you look in the mirror, and guiding you to that discovery process that is a brave and courageous journey. However, I'm here to tell you it's so worth it. And if you don't know when to start and you're feeling lost when it comes to your health, your wealth, your relationships, that's a sign that this may be a fork in the road and a turning point for you. Give these 3 steps a whirl. Let me know how they turn out for you. And I wish you the best health, the best wealth, and the best wisdom. Bye-bye for now. Well, all right. Thank you for attending another amazing Healthy and Wealthy and Wise show. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, download, leave a review or a rating. And also, if you felt like you could benefit from some help, maybe some magnetic mind support, maybe some lead generation and sales strategy, I would love to gift you a free month of my membership, or go to bookacallwithlois.com. That's right, www.bookacallwithlois.com. And if you haven't had a one-time free strategy session with me, that's my gift to you today for attending all the way to the end. Here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom.